finally in after years of speculation. Donald Trump's announcement making him the 12th candidate on the Republican side to say, I want to be president. But can he mount a serious campaign for the White House using only his own billions? Let's debate it with our panel right now. Meet Eliana Johnson. She's the Washington editor of the National Review. Rick Newman, columnist at Yahoo Finance, and Stephen Lesser's here, Democratic strategist. First to you, Eliana. Do you take him serious?
You know, I think the question to ask about Trump is, can he have an impact on this race? And I think the answer to that is absolutely. He's qualifying for them to be up on that stage, and he's saying things like, when you have a candidate like Trump saying things like Mexico is sending criminals and rapists over the border, all it takes is for a debate moderator to say, hey, other candidates, Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, how do you respond to that? And it only takes one moment on a debate stage to change the entire course of the campaign.
Absolutely. He also said something that Mitt Romney got in trouble for indicating or tried to run from, and the fact that he's rich. Mitt Romney was rich, said, don't worry about the fact that I'm rich. He goes, no, I'm rich. I am really rich, Rick.
He wants everybody to know that. Tropical Storm Donald, I mean, when he announced yesterday, I think we were practically leaping for joy in the Yahoo newsroom. We're so delighted, because he's going to make it interesting. He's already saying things that are getting people sort of fired up. It's interesting, for as much as this is about him, he's kind of channeling the disenfranchisement a lot of Americans feel. He's creating villains. China is the villain. Mexico is the villain. I think a lot of serious candidates are going to say you got that wrong, but he's creating a narrative here, and that's going to be quite interesting.
I think also his bluntness, his swagger, his unabashedly saying, I'm successful, look at me. And by the way, he also resonates with blue-collar people who are not billionaires. Am I correct?
There's something about people like Trump that resonates with the American people in some way. Yes, I'm boastful, I'm bragging a little bit, but you know what? I can back it up. And I kind of disagree with Eliana and a lot of other folks who say that he doesn't have a chance. I think he does have a chance. He's doing exactly what you would think somebody in his position would do. He's going after the front runners who are maybe a little bit less decisive, a little bit more wishy-washy. It's a big contrast with him. He's sure of himself. He's strong. I disagree with him. I'm a Democrat. I think some of the things he says, especially about Mexicans and things like that, are terrible. But in a 12-person race, when people are going to have to fight it out, he might be one of the last people standing.
He's also such a loudmouth. He's going to overshadow a lot of the more marginal candidates. I mean, it's almost like they're not even going to be on the stage. Rick Santorum, if he can get in the debates, he's going to be one to talk about socialism. Trump is going to dominate him. Lindsey Graham, Huckabee, if he can get on. I mean, he's just going to dominate these guys.
Well, this is one thing I think the mainstream media really misses. You all showed the covers of Trump portrayed as a clown and so on. But, you know, in terms of Trump resonating with the American people, I think that's absolutely true, and it's because he's unashamed of his wealth.
You know why? Because America is underperforming. We're the superpower. We're embarrassed by it. What about a guy that comes in there and says, pick it up, be proud you're here. We're going to take action. We're getting our opponents worried about us instead of vice versa. Now let's talk about Jeb Bush. He was up late last night, although the taping was at 6:30, doing the Tonight Show. You saw him on late night. How did he do?
I think he did great. Jeb Bush has been saying for so long that he's going to run a joyful campaign, but he's really looked like he has no pulse and like he's dragging his feet. For him to go on late night TV, finally he's acting joyful, and that's what people need to see.
Rick, I think he had a very strong presentation. I thought the stagecraft was fine, and then last night I thought was also strong. He comes off sincere. Does you feel the same way?
Well, I think that's going to be a strength for Jeb Bush if he can actually connect with people, and he's going to be the counterweight to Donald Trump. So one issue I think he needs to answer, you know, he's sort of pro-immigration, where Trump is almost pretty much taking the exact opposite. So this is an area where Trump is kind of framing the issue. Can Jeb be the grown-up and tell us what's
Steve, what do you think? He's getting heckled by a lot of immigration people every speech he makes.
He needed to take the narrative back from Trump, and I think he did that last night. You know, it's been this interesting back and forth. Jeb declared yesterday, Trump declares yesterday afternoon, and then you know, he takes the narrative back by this appearance, which I think he did very well at. I think it's hard not to do well slow jamming the news with Jimmy Fallon, but I think it was an important step. He's got to do a lot more of that.
Yeah, I think the Tonight Show also proved they could be trusted. Not out to stab you in the back like some other shows, even Letterman in this last few years. It's going to be interesting. Stephen Lesser, Rick Newman, Eliana Johnson, thanks so much.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
All right, coming up straight ahead.